It's been 3 years since our Pokemon Red and Blue adventure, and it's finally time to begin our Pokemon Gold and Silver adventure. Let's begin the new game. What? You woke me up. Will you check the clock for me? What time is it? Well, in my neck of the woods, it's 9 o'clock. Yes, this is the first generation, the first Pokemon games to implement a time mechanic, so you're playing in real time most of the time. It is 9:12. Yes. I overslept. Not by that much, though. Sometimes you can get them to wake up like, at 4 in the afternoon. So I overslept. Anyways, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. Of course, you already know that. People call me the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited by creatures that we call Pokemon. That is a mirror right there, big and beautiful. I'm sorry, Peekaboo. People and Pokemon live together by supporting each other. Some people play with Pokemon, some battle with them, some just collect. But we don't know everything about Pokemon quite yet. There are still many mysteries to be solved. That's why I study Pokemon every day. Now, what did you say your name was? Since I'm playing Pokemon Gold version, the names here will be Gold, Hero, Taylor, and Carl. Gold is the official name of this protagonist. If you're playing Silver, the names will say Silver, Kamon, Oscar, and Max. I think, most people just go with their own name. So, I shall. And since there's only enough space to put my first part of my first name, so we'll just put Marc it. Marc, are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Your very own Pokemon story is about to unfold. You'll face fun times and tough challenges. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. Let's go. I'll be seeing you later. And this is our room. This PC here, we're going to be using it quite a bit going forward, but I don't think there's anything in there yet. No potions, there's no mail. Isn't the decorations? So, there is a couple of, actually a bit of decorations that I will be showing off, and we'll be designing our room throughout the game. Something else that I want to mention about time mechanics is that it influences all sorts of events, from rarity of Pokemon to certain events and certain NPCs coming up. It's very important, so make sure your time, you put your time in correctly so you know exactly what day you want to turn on your game. This here is a town map. Let's look at everything that there is here. This Johto is directly west of Kanto, so continue the route numbering just like that. So we're starting at Route 29, and we got a good bit of game here. What's on TV? Anything interesting on TV? It's a TV. Okay, nothing interesting. That's kind of how I feel about television these days. This is our mother. Oh, Marc, our neighbor, Professor Elm, was looking for you. He said he wanted you to do something for him. Almost forgot. Your Pokegear is back from the repair shop. So, Pokegear can do all sorts of things. It mostly for us is going to be a phone. But later on, you get a phone card. What is today? I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday. I'll be pretty pissed if it's not Wednesday. It is not daylight savings time right now, and this is a thing that catches a lot of people, off guard, because they never know when daylight savings time is. Daylight savings time in 2021 starts on March 13th and ends 2 a.m. on November 6th. Basically, daylight saving time starts on the second Sunday of March and ends on the first Sunday of November. If you're not in that range, it's not daylight savings time, so I'm gonna have to give a big no for that one. Is it 9:15? Well, yeah, it's about that, yeah. There's ways to change the clock, not just if it's daylight savings time or not, but also change the clock like what time it is completely. You have to go find your specific code that's tied to your trainer ID and enter that in at the start screen by using some other button combination. I am not going to be manipulating time because that's just a big hassle. I can just play at the right time to what it takes to find out the game. But I will put a video in the description, a link to a video in the description that teaches how you do it, and the website that gives you the code. Yeah. Something else I want to talk about is also the graphics. The graphics change quite a bit depending on what you're playing on. You can play Gold and Silver on the Game Boy, the Super Game Boy 2, the Game Boy Color, or the Game Boy Player on the GameCube. Honestly, the Game Boy and Super Game Boy 2 versions have just less color. Game Boy Color and the GameCube, playing on the GameCube, is the superior way, or the 3DS as well. Anyway, this is New Barktown, our hometown, and it is the sort of the first little place that's outside of Kanto. One day we'll return to our true home, but let's just go around, talk around the town, see what there is. Elm's house. Alright. Hello there. Hi, Mark. My husband's always so busy. I hope he's okay. When he's caught up in his Pokemon research, he even forgets to eat. Another thing here. Let's go with these options. Let's make that text speed fast. Battle scene on launch shift. That print thing I'll talk about much later in the game. You change the frame. Personally, I don't know what I like. I think I'll just go with the basic. I'm a pretty basic guy myself. Hello, kitty. When I grow up, I'm going to help my dad. Going to be a great Pokemon professor. I'm rooting for you. That guy doesn't become anything. Well, at least not yet in the Pokemon canon. Hello there. Pikachu is an evolved Pokemon. It was amazed by Professor Elm's findings. Oh, I was amazed by Professor Elm's findings, sorry. He's so famous for his research on Pokemon evolution. I wish I could be a researcher like him. So what does she mean by that? Pikachu is an evolved form. There is no pre-evolution to Pikachu in Gen 1. Well, that's something we're going to be talking about. There's been a whole lot of pre-evolutions added in this game. This is where that concept really starts. Well, your Pokegear is really impressive. Did your mom get it for you? Is that meant? Are you insulting me, bitch? Anyways, who are you, fellow? Helmet-haired, red-haired kid. So this is the famous Elm Pokemon Lab. What are you staring at? And he pushes us. You don't want to go out there yet. You don't have any Pokemon. I mean, maybe you do, but this lady's just going to pull you back. But without further ado, let's go into Elm's lab. Mark, there you are. I need to ask you a favor. I have an acquaintance called Mr. Pokemon. He keeps finding weird things and raving about his discoveries. Anyway, I just got an email from him saying that this time it's real. It is intriguing, but we're busy with our Pokemon research. Could you look into it for us? I'll give you a Pokemon for a partner. They're all rare Pokemon that we just found. Go on, pick one. So. This is a major decision, and obviously we don't want to skimp on it. But before I go into really talking about these Pokemon, there's a couple things I would like to explain. Is that in this game, the beginning difficulty is not determined by which starter you pick, unlike Gen 1. It's dependent on how many trainer battles you do and how many wild Pokemon you beat. It's about how much you really care for your Pokemon instead of just having the ones that are the strongest for your situation, right? Also, in this game, the stats have been split. The special stat has been split to special attack, special defense. You probably know this. A lot of Pokemon get screwed over by this because instead of being like being tanky on special defense and being a threat with special attacks, they usually just get one or the other. Flareon's a good example of this. It had like a very high special in Gen 1, but now it just has a pretty high special defense instead of having being dominant at both. Some other Pokemon like Butterfree retain their special stat basically by having the same stats in both special attack and special defense. And that's pretty much about it. I think it was a good change. Also, another thing is that there's gender in this game that's finally introduced, and basically the difference here is, and I'll be quoting Bulbapedia for this one, in Generation 2, a Pokemon's gender is determined based solely on its physical attack IVs when compared to its gender ratio. A Pokemon is female if its physical attack IV is less than or equal to its species gender ratio, otherwise it is male. For species that are exclusively one gender or gender unknown, the calculation based on the physical attack IVs is ignored. Due to this calculation, it is impossible to obtain a female Pokemon with high physical attack unless the Pokemon is a member of an all-female species like Jynx or Chansey. So basically, in this game, females are always going to have the weaker attack IVs compared to their male counterpart. And if the gender ratio really favors males like it does with the stars, where it's like 87.5 to 12.5, the chances of that female having like really a decent attack is really slim. But either way, you take what you can get. They changed this after Gen 2 anyways if you're offended by it, but whatever. Time to look at these Pokemon. Chikorita, we're going to start with that one, is a grass type, and it will be throughout all of its evolutions. It has a pretty shallow move pool, a phrase I've used a lot in the last walkthrough, which means you're probably going to be using the same grass type attacks until the Elite Four battles, honestly. The obvious comparison to make with Chikorita is the one with Bulbasaur, but Chikorita is not only lacking in the poison subtype, which is a good thing when it comes to Chikorita, but also Chikorita's strengths are in defense and special defense, where Bulbasaur has high special attack and high special defense. Overall, Chikorita has good stats everywhere else, but it doesn't ever learn Sleep Powder like the Bulbasaur family eventually does, nor any stat boosting moves either, like Growth, for example. With that being said, through its level up moves and TMs that you could teach it, you can adopt a strategy to accentuate its strengths quite nicely. Chikorita is a defensive Pokemon that should be used tactically to get the most out of it. It will have the ability to be a mixed attacker that can also replenish its own HP, eventually down the line, so just be patient. Until then, Chikorita is the hardest of these three starters to use, being weak to the first two gyms and never really having a type advantage over any of the Johto gyms in general. Chikorita is a usable Pokemon, but is not the starter for a person looking for an easy time, especially in the early game. Cyndaquil is a purifier type with high special attack and speed. It has a solid attack and special defense stat as well. A through line with all these starters is that they can all really take a hit. Its learned set mainly consists of fire and normal type moves, and with some other powerful moves learned through TM and HM. Cyndaquil has a good time early on with plenty of bug and grass types to knock out quickly. The bug type second gym will probably be a cakewalk for Cyndaquil users, but it won't have the type advantage for most gyms. In terms of typing, it's middle of the road, not weak to a lot of types while having 4 types that it's strong against. Cyndaquil is simply about attacking, simple to use, easy to raise, a good Pokemon to start your team off with. Totodile is a pure water type with great attack and physical defense, which isn't optimal for a water type in Gen 2. It still has an okay special attack stat to utilize its typing though. Through level up, it learns water, normal, and 1 dark type move. If it weren't for the HM Surf that you get in between the 3rd and 4th gym, its water type power will be seriously lacking in the mid game. As it evolves, it gains the ability to learn some great ice and ground attacking TMs as well. Of the 3 families, Totodile hits 2nd form last at level 18 and its 3rd form first at level 30, so your Totodile probably won't evolve by the 1st gym unless you really want to grind. But due to its early game moveset, it'll have more than enough power to crush most of the Pokemon in its way. In terms of gym, it only has a type advantage over 1, maybe 2 if you teach an ice move. There are many more opportunities to get water types on your team compared to the lack of grass and fire type Pokemon that there really is in this game, but it's still one of the best and easiest to use in the early game. Overall, Totodile is not a perfect Pokemon due to its base stats alone, but it only gets better as the game progresses as you access more TMs and HMs, turning it into a mixed attacker that can inflict heavy damage on pretty much any opponent. So, with that, which one am I going to choose? Well, personally for this playthrough, I think I'm going to be a Chikorita, man. It's the one that everyone shits on, says the worst, but I'm going to prove that it's a great Pokemon. Well, you can make it a great Pokemon. With smarts and strategy and constant care, you definitely can make this thing worth it. So, what am I going to nickname this bad boy? Yeah, Seamus seems good. Mr. Pokemon lives near Cherrygrove, the next city. It's almost a direct route to there. If your Pokemon is hurt, you heal it with this machine. Oh, here's my phone number. Call me if something comes up. So, a Pokegear here. Let's look at the phone card. I don't think you could delete phone numbers from your phone, because as you see here, I think there's only like 10 slots. There's not that many slots. But you can't delete Mom, Professor Elm, I guess. Anyways, you can heal right there. And also, very nice, is that your Pokemon starts off with a berry as a hold item. In the heat of battle, when it's low on health, it automatically restores 10 HP. Very nice. This aid here gives us a free potion which heals 20 HP. And with that, I think we're about ready to hit our first route up. Route 29. So, we have no Pokeballs quite yet, so we can't even catch any Pokemon. But, you know, after this first battle, I do want to go over the Pokemon here. Actually, fuck, I'll just do it right now since people don't encounter me. The first Pokemon I want to go over here is Pidgey. It's a pretty middle-of-the-road Pokemon with decent stats across the board, and no stat really stands out besides its speed. Its level-up moves and TM learn set are chock full of stab moves, but for the most part, they aren't particularly powerful. The Pidgey family can remain effective throughout the game, but will only dominate when it has a clear type advantage. If you catch Pidgey now, you have plenty of early game bugs and grass types to feast on. It doesn't take a master to make Pidgey effective, although it may have middling stats. Rattata is a fast little rat that sometimes can hit pretty hard. Most of its stats aren't great, and its learn set is almost exclusively normal type moves. It does learn special attacks with TM, but Rattata's special attack is seriously lacking. It takes a lot to unlock Rattata's full power, but by the time you can get the right moves on it, its raw attacking power will be disappointing in comparison to the Pokemon you could catch in the mid game to late game. If you want a fast normal type physical attacking powerhouse, there's plenty of options in this game for that. Rattata is probably the worst one. Sentret has sort of the same problem as Rattata, but for different reasons. Sentret is a Pokemon that's supposed to be used for its quickness and priority moves to clean up after your stronger Pokemon put in the work. That's a fine build, but its defenses are such that most of the time it's probably taking over 50% damage for most moves. It has a basic normal type Pokemon learn set, except it can be taught Fire Punch and Surf, but its special attack is incredibly low. It's more useful as a field HM user than a cleaner. In my opinion, it's not strong enough to keep up later in the adventure unless you grind. It does not have enough attack to pierce defenses of late game strong Pokemon, nor does it have the defenses itself to withstand the late game strong attacks. Hoothoot. Some people say it's this generation's Pidgey. I disagree. Pidgey is a viable Pokemon. Hoothoot is not. It has good HP, special attack, and special defense. So sometimes it'll be able to take electric and ice types hit well, kind of, but it has almost nothing to take advantage of its special attack stat. It takes forever for it to learn a special move, and it isn't even that strong. Early on, Hoothoot can learn hypnosis to put Pokemon to sleep. You can pair this with the TM Dream Meter down the line to sap the health of a sleeping Pokemon with a powerful Psychic type attack. Honestly, that would be the only way to make Hoothoot consistently viable. But Hoothoot, it can be useful for your team by being able to put opponents to sleep. Besides that, it has very little to offer. To most people, it will be most useful as a field HM user. For the most part, it's just a weak early game bird Pokemon that never really gets to fully spread its wings until later generations. So, maybe I could find one right here. Oh, and by the way, you can obviously see on the side here that only some Pokemon come out at night, some come out during the morning. Throughout the day, the occurrence of certain Pokemon changes, or if they even come out at all, not just how rare they are. So, you know, be wary of that. You always got to be, I think playing very close attention to detail really pays off in this game. So, you know, that's going to be a through line with this playthrough. And the reason I'm going to be fighting a lot of a wild type Pokemon. Wild type. God, my brain is really sucky today. But I'm going to be fighting a lot of wild Pokemon in this part because I want to be about level 8 after we finish this errand. God damn. Yeah, that level 4 Rattata. God damn. Well, I'm going to go back to Professor Elm's Place in Hill. I should... oh, excuse me. I'll show you what the, using the machine looks like. Directly. Talk to this computer here. Yes. Alright, it's time to get back into things. In this next battle, I want to explain stat experience. There's no, like EVs, effort values in the way that you understand it now. Like in modern games, you beat a Pokemon that has a certain number of effort values it gives. Let's say it gives off 2 attack. And then, you know, if you beat 2 Pokemon that have 2 attack, you have 4 EVs, and that means 1 stat point for you at level 100. In this game, it works slightly differently, because not only can you max out your EVs for every stat, you also get it based on the opponent's base stats. It's not based on a different, like an independent value. So, for example, like a Pidgey has 40 HP, 45 attack, 40 defense, 35 special attack and special defense, and 56 speed. So that would mean you would get those numbers respective. Like you in the stat experience, you would get 40 HP stat experience, if that makes sense. So if you beat like say a Mew that has 100 base stats across the board, there's a potion, another one, you would get 100 stat experience in every stat at the same time. So all your stats are all constantly growing as you defeat Pokemon, and I really like that because you don't have to specialize in one area for no reason. It should be a generalized thing. It'd be interesting if they combine stat experience with the modern way of EVs are, so you can have this like this general stat growth plus specialized training, but I know that that'd probably break the game. Anyways, hopefully that makes sense. So basically, the max EV, that max experience you could get in a single stat is 65,535 experience. But they have this calculation that basically I'm trying to think what the math here is. I think every 255 stat experience gives you 1 stat point, unlike in the modern games where every 4 EVs gives you 1 stat point. And our barrier has been activated. Hopefully that wasn't confusing. I have a link down below to Wikipedia's section on that if you want to read about it. But also, another thing that got introduced in terms of stat experience is Pokerus, which is a virus that doubles the effort point that is gained in battle. So this helps you, get your stat experience quicker. Another thing we want to talk about related to battle mechanics are critical hits. They got changed in this game. They're no longer based on speed, which was so fucking broken. I love every bit of it. But now there's a fixed formula for all Pokemon. Just by itself, you have a 6.25% chance of hitting a critical hit at any time. You can make this, increase with the moves like Focus Energy that boosts your critical hit ratio. That's basically it. You just got a 6.25% chance of hitting a critical hit now, which, is pretty good. Grow my progress. Yeah, it's important to save your game. Alright, coming up here, we're going to see this weird tree. It's a berry tree. New to Generation 2, there's berry trees all over Johto that regenerate once a day. So I can come back tomorrow and there'll be a berry in there. I'll put this, shame is, there's no reason not to give your Pokemon held items, but a lot of people just forget to do that. They only appear at night. He's probably talking about Hoothoot. Alright, so got a little lady here. Hello. See those ledges? It's scary to jump off them. But you can go to New Bark without walking through the dead grass. So yeah, these ledges are helpful just for the shortcut for the trip back. Alright, so here we are now in Cherrygrove City. Hello there. You're a rookie trainer, aren't you? I could tell. That's okay, everyone is a rookie at some point. If you'd like, I can teach you a few things. Go on right ahead. It is optional, by the way, so if you say no, he won't teach you. But you can just talk to him again. Anyway, this is a Pokemon Center. Obviously, you can heal your Pokemon here. You can also trade here, which I'll be talking about later. Here's a Pokemart. You can buy and sell things, help you catch wild Pokemon, and buy items to help heal your Pokemon, so on and so forth. This is Route 30. Trainers will be battling their prize Pokemon there. This is the sea, as you can see. Some Pokemon found only in water. Here, it's my house. Thank for your company. And he gives us a small gift, which is the map card. So basically, it's like the town map we had on our wall, but just on us at all times. It's somewhat helpful. And might as well heal up your Pokemon. Cherrygrove City is always interesting to me because it's not much of a city. It's not really anything here. It's one of the few towns in this game don't have a gym or like some major landmark. I can store any number on Pokemon and it's all free. Yes, universal healthcare. The communication center upstairs was just built, but they're still finishing up. That PC is free for any trainer to use. Yeah, that PC is very important for not just storing your extra Pokemon, but doing a couple different glitches and exploits. So yeah, up here, this is the place where you would communicate with other Game Boys, but the trade machine is just not ready yet. And this is the time capsule. This is like the union room or the battle machine. I think the battle machine in the trade room, they'll be unlocked after we beat the first gym. The time capsule, I think that's a certain event that's way down the line. But that allows us to get Pokemon from Gen 1 and put them in Gen 2, which is very nice. It's going to be pretty vital for filling out our Pokédex. Hello, sir. Mr. Pokemon's house is still farther up ahead. Okay. Thanks for telling me that. When you're with Pokemon, going anywhere is fun. That's pretty fucking true. Hello there. Pokemon gain experience in battle and change their form. Over time, this is true. I'd be shocked if one did that. It's on TV. It's a TV. It's on the radio. Pokédex show. Chikorita. What? Oh, okay, I pressed A too fast. So I guess this channel just talks about Pokemon that's in Guardian, your Pokédex, and just says the Pokédex entry. I usually don't listen to the radio, and this is why. Enough of that. But the tune that the radio produces will carry until you change rooms, which I think is pretty cool. So, let's see. How you doing, man? I was a wee lad, I was a hotshot trainer. Here's a word of advice. Catch lots of Pokemon. Treat them all with kindness. I agree. Oh, you're trying to see how good you are as a Pokemon trainer? You better visit the Pokemon gyms all over Johto and collect badges. I plan on it. When I get older, I'm going to be a gym leader. I make my Pokemon battle with my friends to make them stronger. So, we'll be returning here. You can access this water and ride it, surf on it, talk to that guy, catch some Pokemon. But don't have that available to us right now. When we do, I'll be doing such a long recap about all the Pokemon we can find in the water. So here in the Pokemart, we cannot buy Pokeballs quite yet. But we can buy some healing items if you want to do that. Personally, I don't find it necessary right now, but I just want to show off what you can buy. I was walking in the grass and Pokemon poisoned my Pokemon. I just kept going, but then my Pokemon fainted. You should keep an antidote with you. Nah! They're fresh out of Pokeballs. When will they get more of them? Probably when I finish a certain side quest. Anyways, that's about it right now for Cherrygrove. Time to go to Route 30. And let's talk about the Pokemon you can find here. Caterpie is just as viable as it was in Gen 1. It will evolve quickly into Metapod, which is an early game defensive beast, and 3 levels later it will evolve into the bug flying type I love so much. As a fully evolved Pokemon, it is a special attacker with decent speed but frail physically. It has 5 weaknesses, so beware not to use it in dangerous situations because it will have a hard time surviving. But it will quickly get the power to paralyze, put to sleep or poison opponents, thus shrinking the gap between it and its stronger Pokemon. It also learns Psychic type attacks to level up, which is very nice to hit almost every Pokemon in the game for at least neutral damage, even though, it won't have stab, obviously. I have used Caterpie before, and I was obviously not disappointed at all. Although statistically weak, it has enough tools to really cripple an opponent. Everything I said about Caterpie applies to Metapod, but it must be known that a caught Metapod will only know Harden, whereas a Caterpie raised to a Metapod will know Tackle and String Shot as well. Weedle's the same bug poison type from the original games, in that it still has a decent attack and decent speed, but is extremely frail. It has a decent but shallow learn set as well. This juxtaposed with the panoply of grass poison types, flying types, and other bugs makes it very difficult to raise it into a viable member of your team. But it isn't impossible. Everything I said about Weedle applies to Kakuna, but it must be known that a caught Kakuna will only know Harden, whereas Weedle raised to a Kakuna will know Poison Sting and Shrink Shot as well. Ledyba is a bug flying type that specializes in special defense and speed. Its learn set is filled with normal type attacks and psychic type defensive moves. Through TM, Ledyba can learn all of the elemental punches as well. One small problem though, well, 2 small problems actually, are that Ledyba has horrible attack and special attack. Because of that, Ledyba just isn't viable in single combat as the game progresses. Without constant healing or stat boosting items, Ledyba would be perfect for a double battle heavy game like Pokemon Coliseum or XD, because its ability to put up reflecting light screens while being able to hit super effective hits with well-timed elemental punches. Sadly, double battles don't exist quite yet, so it will take a lot of in-battle switching to employ this strategy. Spinarak is a bug poison type that's fairly weak and lacking in moves for a good chunk of the early game. Beyond that, once it evolves and you get some TMs for it, it becomes a pretty decent threat with the ability to learn Sludge Bomb, Psychic, and Dig. It'll probably take you most of the journey though through Johto to develop Spinarak into an actual threat, because its learn set is trash and it takes what feels like forever to evolve. In terms of base stats, it specializes in attack with decent stats everywhere else besides its horrible speed. Use Spinarak with care and caution. One added note I have to say is that the flying type gym, that's the first gym, will make using bugs very tough to use there as well. Anyways, we're gonna continue training up our guys. And I would be aware of the of buying items. Like, yeah, if you're being super cautious, yeah, you should probably buy antidotes if you're gonna be fighting a wild Pokemon here. But I'm not, and I know that we can get a free antidote just on the ground coming up. Just like that, Seamus level 7. I recommend, you know, by the time you're making your way back to Cherrygrove City to be level 8. Anyways, right here, what do we have? Another tree. It's another berry. In this house. Hello. Yo, you know, Pokemon eat berries. Well, my Pokemon got healthy by eating a berry. Here, I'll share one with you. So, there we go. So many berries. Should be rather impossible to faint this early. Well, unless you get hit with a critical, I guess. But thanks for the berries, sir. I'm so dreading the fact that I don't have Pokeballs quite yet, because it always scares me that I'm gonna find a shiny Pokemon, because this is the first generation to have shiny Pokemon, and the initial rate, although I think they lowered it basically throughout the years, the initial rate is very low. It's like a 1 in 8,192 chance, and for that to happen, the one time I don't have Pokeballs is scary. Mr. Pokemon's house, it's a bit farther ahead. If you go here, you see these two people battling. Go Rattata! Tackle! What? This is a big battle! Leave me alone! Yeah, we'll be facing them a little bit later. That Rattata ain't no joke, folks. Come prepared. Wait a second. Did I not mention? Huh. That's odd. I could have sworn that there was an antidote that I passed up. Maybe I'm just thinking of maybe the remakes. I do confuse this thing for the remakes quite a bit. And the Caterpie is down, getting that sweet stat experience. So I like stat experience as well, because it makes like battling these low level big Pokemon not just some tedious, meaningless task. You know, I guess you could say the same about Eevees, but it's to a different extent, a much lesser extent. Anyways, up here we can find our first berry tree that doesn't have just a regular berry in it. It's a PSN Cure berry. Cures poison. You can also have it as a held item. If you ever get poisoned, he'll instantly heal it. And there is a hidden item here. There it is, a potion. Nice. So yeah, right there. And here, Mr. Pokemon's house. Hello. You must be Marc. Professor Elm said that you would visit. This is what I want Professor Elm to examine. A mystery egg, huh? Marc put the mystery egg in the key pocket. I know a couple who run a Pokemon daycare service. They gave me that egg. I was intrigued, so I sent mail to Professor Elm. Man, I'm so sorry about my reading. For Pokemon evolution, Professor Elm is the authority. Even Professor Oak here recognizes that. If my assumption is correct, Professor Elm will know it. Yes, here's Oak. Aha, so you're Marc. I'm Marc. What the fuck? Why can't I read? I'm Oak, a Pokemon researcher. I was just visiting an old friend, Mr. Pokemon. I heard you were running an errand for Professor Elm, so I waited here. Oh, what's this? A rare Pokemon. Let's see. I see. I understand why Professor Elm gave you a Pokemon for this errand. To researchers like Professor Elm and I, Pokemon are our friends. He saw that you would treat your Pokemon with love and care. You seem to be dependable. How would you like to help me out? See, this is the latest version of Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia that has no actual entries in it. Go meet many kinds of Pokemon and complete that Pokédex. But I've stayed too long. I have to get to Goldenrod for my usual radio show. Marc, I'm counting on you. You're returning to Professor Elm? Here, your Pokemon should have some rest. So he heals our guys up. And you might make that, everyone makes that basic observation about the Pokédex. We get it every game when it's empty. No, I'm not gonna like talk about games that came after Gold and Silver, but it sort of makes sense why the Pokédex would be nearly empty. Because if you think about it, Red got it that it was nearly empty, but he went on, caught a bunch of Pokemon, but he never really went back. If you think about it, he never went back to give all the data to Professor Oak. We don't know that. We never did that in the game. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's Professor Oak depended on the Gen 1's protagonist, Red. And do we know that Red ever came through with the Pokédex? I don't know. Just something to think about. Hello, Marc. It's a disaster. It's just terrible. What should I do? Oh, no. Let's get back here now. Oh, he sounds panicked. Like I said, take your time. By the time we get there, things will have settled somewhat. And once again, I think it's pretty important to get your Pokemon up to level 8 when you're returning to Cherrygrove. I think it's important to get level 8 on Totodile because that's when it learns Rage. So that's pretty important. They got level 8 Cyndaquil and Smokescreen. And we're about to see what Chikorita learns to level 8. It's not really that's important. But the Rage on Totodile is big. Because Rage is a move that the more you get hit, the more damage you do. Obviously in a back and forth early game tackle battle, scratch battle, that's pretty important. God damn it. Another little graphical difference here is that we can actually see our experience in battle. Not to keep checking the stat screen. Come on. Okay. I'm really curious how this playthrough is gonna go. My plan for the playthrough though is to really chop everything up into tiny parts and really go in depth about stuff, and like have the parts be dense, but it's still covering very little, like a very little area. So it's gonna be a very long playthrough and it's gonna last the entire year. But anyway, Chikorita is level 8 and it learned Razor Leaf. Very powerful grass type attack. But in the upcoming battles, you know, in the next battle, we probably won't be able to use it. Anyway, we want to heal right now. Alright, time to go back to New Bart. Up. You got a Pokemon at the lab. What a waste. A wimp like you. Don't you get what I'm saying? Well, I too have a good Pokemon. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. So a redhead dickhead challenges to a battle. Says question mark, but who needs to know his name? Someone's name is their least important aspect in my opinion. It's gonna start off with the, basically the starter that is strong against you type-wise. But obviously we're strong against them because we're 3 levels higher. the Cyndaquil only has tackle and leer. Leer lowers your defense. If you chose Cyndaquil, it will have Totodile, which has scratch and leer. If you chose Totodile, it will have a Chikorita that has tackle and growl. All of which are always going to be level 5. Because he just stole it from Professor Elm. By the way, he doesn't heal, nor does he have a berry on him. Ah, not quite. Are you happy you won? Yeah, kinda. I'm going to be the world's greatest Pokemon trainer. It's odd that he calls us, like, he calls me a wimp, even though we both just started. I don't know. Something about that guy just chaps my hide. Anyways, I'm not going to be using the ledges to skip to skip this route. I'm going to take the longer way and maybe you can get another encounter and level up. Come on! Any other fucking time. Okay, so use tackle. I don't really think that I should really cut out wild battles. It's not something I'm really gonna do. But if these parts are always gonna be this long, I don't think they will. But they're not gonna have as many battles or whatnot. But there we go, level 9. Stats looking pretty decent. Okay. Back in New Bark Town. Let's go see what's happening with Mr. Elm. What's happening? I heard a Pokemon was stolen here. I was just getting some information from Professor Elm. Apparently, it was a young male with long red hair. What? You battled a trainer just like that. Did you happen to get his name? There's a lot of things you could call this rival. Dickhead, asshole, asshat, cock munch, PHAGG. But I'm not doing any of that. I'm gonna call him his official name, which is Silver. Gold's counterpart, obviously. So Silver was his name. Thanks for helping with my investigation. How's it going, pal? Marc, this is terrible. Oh yes, what was Mr. Pokemon's big discovery? I almost said Mr. Big's Pokemon discovery. Marc handed the mystery egg to Professor Elm. But is it a Pokemon egg? If it is a great discovery. What? Professor Oak gave you a Pokedex. Marc, is that true? That's incredible. He is superb at seeing the potential of Pokemon as trainers. Wow, Marc, you may have what it takes to become a champion. You seem to be getting on great with Pokemon too. You should take the Pokemon Gym Challenge. The closest gym would be the one in Violet City. Marc, the road to the championship will be a long one. Before you leave, make sure that you talk to your mom. Alright, well. Marc, use these on your Pokédex quests. And he gives us 5 Pokeballs. Could finally catch it. So good. Get some members for the team and whatnot. Anyways, let's talk to our mother before we go. Wow, that's a cute Pokemon. Where'd you get it? So you're leaving on an adventure? Okay, I'll help you too. But what can I do for you? I know, I'll save money for you. On a long journey, money's important. Do you want me to save your money? So, say yes, she'll save a portion of your money. Which I think is good. But with that money, she'll sometimes spend it on certain items. Certain items you can only access while you're buying it. If you say no, you keep all your money by yourself, but you don't get those items, and if you lose a battle, you lose half of your money. And wouldn't you rather lose, way less money by just giving a good portion of that money to your mom, because obviously the money that you give to your mom is just in a bank somewhere. You're not gonna lose that, but you are gonna lose all the money, half the money that's on your person. So of course I'm gonna say yes. Okay, take care of your money. Be careful. Pokemon are your friends. You need to work as a team. Now go on. With the Elm's errand complete, and giving our mother a farewell, we can finally continue our path to Violet City, to our first gym badge. But between here and there, there's a lot of Pokemon to catch, a lot of trainers to battle. And I must tell you before you go, that this game has a lot of layers to it. It's such a pivotal part in so many people's childhood, of course mine, but I feel like so many people did not get the most out of it. The main theme of this playthrough is take advantage of everything that's here, because there's so much. All the complaints that so many people have is born of them not taking advantage of what's there. Always, always, always make the most of these situations. And pay very close attention to detail. With that, we have begun our Pokemon Gold and Silver adventure. See you next time.